The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Boyd's ATA Black Belt Academy in Marrero, Louisiana. Barreto Home Solutions. Bayou Audio and Video. Hot Works on the North Shore. JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington. Lil Dizzy's Cafe. Kuman of Gretna. HBP Construction and Consulting. Moe's Pizza. Bucks Snow Whiz. CC's Children Blocks. The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana. Leo Auto Glass. The Juber Family in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Dat Kitchen Restaurant in Chalmette, Louisiana. CoSource Financial Group.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. We got a good one for y'all tonight. 7:25, we are supposed to have Coach Denny Duron of Evangel joining us. So hopefully that still happens, but we'll see. We'll see. But as you can see, I have the co-host with me. Hey, George Peppers, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What's
Doing
up,
good?
bad boy?
You
I can't
ate well
complain,
today?
bro.
Ate
Huh?
well? You ate well today? Ate good?
I gotta bring it. I gotta bring it with me Friday though. Oh, there you go. But no, it's good to be on again. Episode 269, I think.
No, man. This is
Uh,
271.
271. Oh, we almost to
Yeah,
300.
almost.
Time flies.
Yeah.
But it's the best week of the year, man. It's Thanksgiving. Teams are practicing in isolation. I say isolation. Just no distractions. And to the 64 teams that are left, we wish y'all safe travels wherever you may have to go. And of course, get through your games unscathed, and we'll see y'all in the semifinals. And can't wait to go to the game we got Friday night, though.
Yes,
It's
sir.
going to be, it is the ultimate contrast game, really, when you look at it. And I know we'll break this matchup down later on. And if we haven't announced it and whatnot, but, you know, uh, it's just some things are just better left unsaid. At the end of the day,
Yes,
um,
indeed.
I'll leave it at that, JB.
Yes, indeed. Predictions tomorrow night. Tomorrow
Yes,
night,
sir.
fellas. Tomorrow night, we're doing the predictions. Casey and Ryan. We got the one and only, my friend, VK Jones. What's happening, VK Jones?
I'm still your friend, huh?
Oh, yeah, he's still my friend. You still my
Okay.
friend, but
Okay. I'm making sure. I'm making sure. I'm making sure. I want to apologize to both
ain't
of
no
you
apology,
co-hosts.
man. We being sarcastic. We
I,
playing with you, man.
I was hoping y'all was gonna be sarcastic, and I had a feeling y'all was because I'm like the way
Who
it
said I
came
am?
off. I was like, wait a minute now. I'm trying to look out for my
You ain't
dog.
looking out. You want to looking out for us, man.
No,
No,
I
you
was.
didn't.
I'm being honest, JB. I would not lie to you. I'm serious. I
That
was
boy
trying to look out for y'all.
VK told Coach Curry of Jules something of the day. I got some guy that love to eat. They can go to tailgate. I said, wait a minute, time out. How you exclude yourself out? and just make it seem like we some people that just
No.
eat. We greedy people. Boy, I couldn't believe you, VK Jones.
I was not trying to say we greedy people. Maybe I should have
Yo,
worded.
no. Now you won't say we, George. Now you won't say we, but
I see that.
it was. I
But
got some
wait,
people.
wait,
Yeah, now you won't say we. Boy, get out of here,
can I
VK.
interject? Can I
Yeah.
interject? All right, Jordan Taylor, I see you in the chat. How would you handle this situation if one of your people said that about you? I know you in the chat. I seen you just post about asking about Turkey Week, which again, Thanksgiving week is the best week of the year. I mean, and I guess playing devil's maybe
Uh-huh.
what do people do on Thanksgiving? Eat, right?
Eat.
But it's also to count your blessings and to be thankful for what you have with your family, your friends, and all the things that life has afforded you. You know,
Yeah, definitely. Um, everybody hit that like, hit the tag somebody, share it. Comment.
Like,
Keep the comments coming.
yeah, we're on all social media platforms,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. So continue to hit the likes and everything. And we thank y'all so much for joining us on Monday for the Hanville Invitational, which was 3 very great entertaining games. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon for 2 more entertaining games for you. And also, we can't forget about Friday night. So, but plain and simple, bro. I'm being real. I was trying to make sure my crew was straight. I'm being honest because, hey, we working hard and stuff. I'm just being honest. JP, I know you probably ain't buying it, but I'm being honest. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Make
man.
sure we straight.
Because it's the
Yeah.
first time we going in that place. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
all I know is you can't play back with me.
It did have nothing. It did have nothing. Oh well, we good. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
Looking out for the crew, but
I do look out for
I won't tell that story that happened at
you.
certain
Okay.
place
No,
down
we
the
don't.
road.
Yeah, yeah. You
But
you talking about that story down the road, right?
down the road,
Down the
yeah, I'm
road.
gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. Let's leave it. Leave that. What did I just say a few minutes ago? Some things are better left unsaid.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys. So we had week 2 of the playoffs on this
Mhm.
past week. To you, fellas, what game or what team stood out the most to you? We'll start with VK Jones.
Wow, Johnny on the spot already, man. It's all to the good. It's all to the good. What team
Or what
stood out?
game? Or
Oh,
what game?
what game stood out?
Either one, a team or a game. You pick it.
Ooh, man. Give me 1 second. I'm figuring it out because that's a really good question you just put on me. Um, I'm going to definitely say um mm, I'm gonna say Saint Augustine, how they had to withstand some things and to wind up putting away the game against Acadiana on Friday night. And I mean, Acadiana kept fighting and fighting, and St. Aug was down early, but it's another test that this Purple Knights team has passed. And that was really big, especially how that Acadiana came back at one point, and I think they tied the game or got close to tying.
They tied it at 42.
They tied the game up, and then St. Augustine found it in their heart and in their soul to get the lead back and put the game away. So it's a resilient team, and they're showing again that they're still resilient, regardless of their best receiver being out. They still really put it out there and handle their business to win. Well, I know things is not going to get easier this week, but I say the Purple Knights. It's a tough question, but I'm going to say St. Augustine.
George Peppers.
You said a game or team, right? I have two.
Okay.
I have two of them. The first one I'm going to give you is Barb over West Monroe.
Mm.
The 26 seeded Bar Buccaneers go into West Monroe where it used to be impossible to win. You went up there, quite frankly, there were people that made conspiratorial theories about going into West Monroe that you didn't just have to play the Rebels, you had to play the Stripes, which, look, that's a subjective. Okay, so it's not that. But the Buccaneers demonstrated in no uncertain terms how gutsy they were. 26 seed, bottom of the bracket, not expected to win one, let alone two playoff games. Guess what, boys? They're practicing this week into a quarterfinal, and I think they play Acadiana, right? Not
No,
Acadiana. What am I saying?
Auburn's playing
I
Neville.
mean, yeah, Neville. Neville. The other one, to me, the most demonstrative performance of all the games last Friday night. John Curtis over St. Thomas More. Just a margin, 48 to 7. Who does that to a Jim Hightower coach team? And John Curtis just said, you know what? They were the piranhas Friday night. They chewed up St. Thomas More and spit them out like a hot knife through butter. And they got a Division I recruit at quarterback, St.
Is that
Thomas
Knowlton?
More. What's up, Knowlton? They got a Division I soon to be assignee, Cole Bergeron, Virginia Tech. He's a verbal to Virginia Tech. But just look, John Curtis does embarrass people. They've done it in the past many a time, right? But what they did, St. Thomas More against a legend, and look, JT's a legend. Let's not mistake that. Okay. But what they did, they're serving notice. They got Turlings this week. Turlings, y'all might want to have y'all attention span on point here, because if that Curtis team comes in there and plays like that this week, that's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be a major issue for the Rebels.
I tried to tell
But
that to
those are my
somebody.
two. Huh?
What you just said about Turlins and John Curtis, I tried to tell that to somebody. They wasn't having it with me. They weren't listening about it.
Oh, some people objectivity doesn't exist when we're not on the show. That doesn't happen. It's people that say the most innocuous things. They say the craziest things, and it's none of us I'm talking about. It's none of the three of us. It's just we have conversations.
It was that guy right there that said that.
Oh, you want me a rat? You go.
Oh yeah, brother. You
Wait,
get
whoa,
it.
wait. What did I stumble into?
Oh, we got
VK was going back and forth about Curtis against Turlins, boy, and he was sitting there saying, "It ain't happening. It ain't happening, man. Curtis may win, but he may win by 7. That's about it. It ain't no beatdown. It ain't no beatdown."
All I'm gonna say, and we're gonna pick the game tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, we
We're
are.
gonna pick all the games. We got 32 games tomorrow. For those of you gonna stay with us tonight, but if Curtis comes out like they did last week, and I don't know if they will, I'd make the argument. Didn't St. Thomas More beat no, Turlings went beat them this year, and but that game was close.
38-14.
No, 38-14, they walloped them. Okay.
Yeah.
Second half at that.
Second half.
I mean, yeah. Okay, I see what Jordan's commenting about Washington Christian. Southern Lab, this wasn't one of their better teams. So I'm not completely surprised at the margin. This was a team that was up and down this year. Another game that caught my attention too, JB, and I want you guys. Union Parish. Did you go look at the stat line from that game and tell me how in
That's
the
where I was
world
going with
Union Parish won
mine.
that game?
Let me hop in, because that's where
Go ahead, let it happen.
I was going with mine, because it was Union
Great
Parish
pick
over ERAT, and I picked Union Parish to win. But when you
You
look
did.
at the stats, you have to ask yourself,
How?
how did they win this game? Here we go. ERAT had 83 plays to Union's 26.
Mm-hmm.
ERAT had 22 first downs to Union's 5. ERAT converted 11 out of 20 third downs. Union converted 1 of 6. And 4 downs, ERAT did convert 2 of 6. And I had to sit there and say, well, turnovers, penalties, how? Well, yeah, I think one was a pick 6 from Union Parish. I know Union Parish at the end of the game got a sack and a fumble. Got that. Basically it.
Touchdown. Special teams touchdown. I think y'all.
And a special teams touchdown. That's right. And a special teams touchdown. So,
JB, do they have the time of possession?
I don't have that.
Oh, they don't have that. Okay. Because the way, based on the numbers, it looked like
ERAT had it for the longest. You could tell.
They did. 83 to 26. That's a huge advantage. How do you lose that game? I mean, how do you lose that game?
That's what I said. Like, wow, that's when you look at that, like, how?
I know, but I have a working theory. They know you won the regular season title. They knew you picked them, so they had to kind of defy the odds here, and they got the job done for you. Just saying.
Yep.
But
That's the sack, 18-yard line, and they got the fumble. So that was my pick right there. That stood out to me the
a
most.
great choice.
Because 14-9, I was like, okay, good game. Then I see the stats. I was like, wow, how?
That's the first
How in
thing
the
I
world?
thought, because Mike Coppage, who's a respected friend of ours, great journalist, posted that on his Facebook page, and I saw that, and I'm like, I had to scratch my head. I was like, in what football game do you have that much of a decided advantage in numerics and plays and yards and first downs, conversions, and you lose and at home?
Yeah. You
I
talk
can't
about it,
explain
BK.
that.
You know what those numbers sound similar to? What happened with LSU and Western Kentucky on Saturday? Exactly, because it's just like, my God, how you don't win the game? That's crazy to me, man. But at the same time, the lesson I can take from that, and JB, I'm gonna give you props on that pick big time, bruh. We got to give Spatafor, put some respect on that man's name, bro. That man's schedule's tough for a reason, and that is why they're where they are again. You know what I'm saying? So, Union Parish, I mean, big time props to Coach Spatafor, bro. I mean, unbelievable what he does. You can say sometimes he might have a team that's good, sometimes a team that's up and down and young, but that schedule tough. Okay, don't let them get hot. They get hot, it might be trouble for you.
Here's my question, Kenny. I mean, here's the answer. I'd like to know how many timeouts they had, and I guess they felt as if that they could stop Union's offense and get the ball back. That's why I would say.
But see,
How much time
you
left? You
say
say 4 minutes left. That's what I'm thinking, and then you say timeouts probably. What I'm
you
thinking.
say that JB, but they were on the defense was on the field 26 plays. They were fresh. There's no excuse. So I see where Kenny's going with this. He's right. He's 100% right. Ebrath had 83 plays they ran that night, Friday night.
Yeah.
So you're telling me there's no way their defense was gassed. Now I know they don't have a great depth over there at Ebrath. But they and there's not a lot of, what's the word I want to use? There's not a lot of like big time talent there. I mean, it's no disrespect on the school or the area, but they have had a magical year, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a great disappointment to go out in the second round at home. But Kenny, I think you're right. I wonder if they kind of played. I don't want to say played not to lose. I don't. You never want to do that. Say that about a playoff game. That's just it's blasphemous to say that. It really is. But I think that situation, and you mentioned Spanafor, BK. Look, I don't think there's any question that guy is a very good coach. So I don't know where this respect thing is coming from. I don't know who's questioning the guy. This year's team doesn't feel like a team that didn't feel like, at least to me on the surface, didn't feel like a team that's got a long run in them. But you know what? They're here.
You can say that about the team last year. I think they finished 6-4 and then got to the semis. You can say that about them
But they
last year.
scheduled crazy tough last year, and that was the first year that scheduled.
They did again this year. The
Right.
non-conference.
I think the
It's
biggest
not that
thing is the fact that you look at it more than anything else, and here is the bottom line. When you look at it, this is where Union Paris has been there, done that. ERAP has not. I don't think they ever got a quarterfinal berth.
Not since 1962 or 1965 is
Exactly. That's a
Erad's last quarterfinal berth.
long freaking time. So, like
You're
I
talking like
said,
70 years.
it's
Pretty much.
sometimes when you in that cusp, when you get so close, you got to do everything you can, and sometimes take risk to try to break that glass ceiling. Sometimes the risk might pay off, sometimes it might not. They kick the field goal, you cut it to one possession, but the ERAD defense didn't do what they're supposed to do. They didn't make the critical stops. When you gotta make the critical
They held
stops.
them, look,
And they
14
held them.
points.
They did a
They
good
had
job.
80-something plays. They didn't make the not the stops. They didn't score like they were supposed to score. 80-something plays.
I agree.
You got to have more than
That
9
defense
points.
be
Ken.
tired. You gotta capitalize.
Yeah, you have to score more. No,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just saying the bottom line is, even if you cut that lead, you still gotta find a way to make that stop, that critical stop, so you have one more shot. But you're right, and I do agree. E-Rap could have probably really won the game if they took advantage of what they had, and it depends on what the field position was. Because if they're in the red zone multiple times, that's a problem. That's almost like our game we did on Friday.
All right, let me ask y'all a question. Most heartbreaking defeat, is it Marksville or Hornville? Whose defeat was more heartbreaking?
I'm gonna say Marksville. I'm gonna say Marksville. That was a great game. And I mean, it was a shootout to the death, and it was just the fact that whoever got the ball last wins. And that's what it came down to. And then you think about it was Marksville had it last, needed the two to force another overtime, but didn't get it. So you just had the defense had to get one stop. And sometimes it comes down to that. It comes down to one critical stop, and Mansfield did it. They
Peppers.
did it.
Now, the biggest question, and to me, it's plainly obvious. It's and why. Harville had control of that game, a lot of it, and they let it get away late. They know you got to understand if you're Hornville, Parkway's offense is legit good. They could score fast. They're a tempo offense. You were doing a pretty good job throughout that game, keeping them at arm's length, But your defense lets you down late. It all went away. And Parkway, look, good offenses find a way to overcome, and they did. For me, just in the method of Harville, how they lost that game. And you mentioned Marshall and Mansfield. I watched back some of that tape, and that was just a back and forth game. No one ever really had a strong foothold in that game. They both had momentum swings, and it was one of those games where it was like, you score, I score. It's defense optional. Let's just call it what it is. 64 to 62, 62 to 60 was 22 points. Okay, and with that being, to me, the answer is Harville. Only because they had control of that game at road, had the crowd out of it, and Parkway got back into it. I had a chance to watch back the recap, watch back the highlights, the highlight tapes that came out, and I know they're out there. But Hornville, JB, looked like they were home free, and they didn't get there.
Hornville was up 20 to 17. My answer is Hornville as well, up 20 to 17. They were up. They had a lot of people on Facebook, saying why they lost this game, and I strongly disagree with that. The only decision I disagree with Coach Boyne on was the field goal, 4th and 3. And he faced the field goal and go to a quarterback sneak, and they didn't get it. And to me, that gave Parkway life back into that game. It would have been a 42-yard field goal. They tried a 58-yard field goal earlier, and he missed it by 1 yard. 1 yard.
So 42 is a breeze.
I would say so. So that's the only decision I disagree with Coach Boyne on. But other than that, I said it on the boot breakdown, man. The dropsies, meaning the drops, reared its ugly head again for Hornville this season. It reared its ugly head. If you go watch that game, Hornville had a lot of drops in that game. A lot of drops, man. And that just kills you. And then the overtime, it was 3rd down. Landon Teague finds I can't think of his name, right in the middle of the end zone. He's by himself just sitting there. Teague sees him, throws it to him. He drops it.
Was it Knockin or Kevin Singleton?
No, it wasn't those two. It wasn't those two.
Wow.
And he drops it right there in the middle of the end zone. He was there, and then that scores, and then they kick the extra point, game over. And man, that to see the way Hornville lost these past 2 seasons in the second round, both of them heartbreaking losses. Both of them heartbreaking losses. You got to feel for them. Credit Parkway, they get the win, they move on. But to me, that Hornville loss was more heartbreaking than Marksville losing, just because Hornville really had that game in hand, and to see it slip away like that, and then you see the drops and everything, you just shake your head like, oh my God. Like, like I feel like Hornville should be hosting a quarterfinal game tonight. I mean, Friday night
Washington.
against Washington. I really feel that way. It just, if you watch that game, you feel that Hornville was supposed to win that game, and when they scooped up that fumble and ran it for a touchdown, I think it was 70 yards. They ran it back for. The feeling was like, yeah, they got it. They got it. And then, like I said, I disagree with him not kicking the field goal. I felt like that gave Parkway life, and that's about it. So let's get to the chat right quick. There's Shelby Boyle. Too many drops. Yeah. Yep. Aaron Williams, the sophomore, is the kid that dropped the ball in the end zone. Yeah, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good, man. He's gonna be good. I know he feels bad right now due to that drop, you know. But he got to be able to shake that off, come back next season stronger, and be able to help Hornville get to their destination. That's get to the Superdome. Coach Bowen got to credit what he has done for that program these past 2 years, VK Jones, because he's done a hell of a job bringing that program back to life, getting the community to come back out there. He's done a fantastic job.
It's an amazing job what Coach Bowen has done, and now next season is upon them. Next season is the fact that now year 3, could it be the time that things go another level for Hanville? They kept making step by step. Is next year finally their time that they go in and have a chance to win the district championship, a chance to maybe have a higher playoff seed so they can have a chance to, host a couple playoff games instead of hosting one? So it's going to be a lot for Coach Bourne to work on, but they're hoping that next year that Hanville, and it could be maybe their time next year, to really turn things up with their team more than anything else. The work is going. And Coach Bowen has done wonders with the program, but at the same time, I'm gonna give some props, and I'm like this. I think North Louisiana got their lick back this year, especially last week. They've been waiting for a long time for this, and you look at it. Neville's still in there. Then on top of that, look at this: Washita against Parkway. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? And you look at the other teams in North Louisiana. We were seeing that from last season going into this year. I'm like, the North's coming back. They're coming back. So the South, strap it up. Strap it up, baby. Because I'm telling you, these cats is back this year.
Pause.
Pause. Thank you. Pause. You stupid. But I'm saying these guys are the North Louisiana in that region. Those guys are back, bro. They are back. And they I'm telling you, they got their lick back last week. They really got their lick back.
Before I go to George Peppers about the game we did, there's a lot of talk about Hornville's first play in overtime. It was a dead ball foul, personal foul on Parkway. A lot of Hornville fans are saying that the down should have remained 1. It went to a second down. So from what I looked up, due to the fact that it was a dead ball foul after the play and you can only go half the distance, that's why it was still second down. It didn't remain first. A lot of people saying it should have remained first. I had to go look it up because high school is different from college and pros, and here you go. There's no first down you can get, but it was a personal foul. But half the distance, second down. I looked it up. That's what it said. I just threw my hands up at it because that's what the rules said. But Peppers, I'm going to go to you now. Bell Chase, Opelousas, you were there. Kenny says it's the correct call. So, okay, cool. So that's what I told people. and I'm glad I'm right. You were there. Opelousas Bell Chase. Opelousas a heartbreaking loss as well when you think about the 6 turnovers that they had, and they
And they
lose 7-6.
still,
And then the block extra point.
mhm, they still were in with a chance on the last drive to steal that game. It was like Bell Chase did everything right defensively, but yet Opelousas just showed you so much gut and grit and still fought. Those kids, those kids are going to be very tough next year. They were very young, big youth orientation this year for Opelousas, and it was their first year with the new coach. So systematically speaking, they'll get a whole off season to do what they need to do to get better, and they're going to be better. Rito is a good looking quarterback, but I found myself looking VK that, and I said this on the broadcast. It looked like he was trying to find spots that weren't there. That's a sign of immaturity when it comes to reading and recognizing defenses. That's going to be worked on. That's coachable stuff. Where you can, hey, you've got a live arm, but stop trying to force feed a ball that wasn't going to get to your guy. And Bell Chase, the way they play cover, the way they cover receivers, um, they're going to get to every ball. And Cooper Fauché was outstanding Friday night, and I'm glad he got the recognition that he got yesterday. Named the GNO Quarterback Club's Player of the Week. Now, VK, I said, if offense is sexy, but if Cooper wins this award this week, then that tells you the axiom of defense winning championships applies. Um, I think that was a scintillating performance, and Bell Chase wasn't 100% in that game. They were
Yeah.
missing Dylan Carter. And that's a huge piece to their offense.
Which should be
I,
back.
you know,
He should be back this
he,
week.
he
Exactly.
will. He had flu-like symptoms Friday night. He didn't go, and smart move. I mean, because flu is the flu; it weakens your body, and so. But this week they get West Feliciana at home, who upset Bruley, which was a eye catcher for me. I didn't think that could happen, but it did. Um, so the Saints will be marching down to Plaquemines Parish Friday night. See how that's going to go. Um, But yeah, Bell Change showed me a little something defensively. But the next man up theory really kicked into gear offensively. Amari Ambrose, you already know what he's going to do. He's that kind of an impact. But it's those, Ankar, Kubion, those guys had some important carries in that game that really gave Bell Chase a semblance of balance. You know how many passes they threw, JB, in that game? One.
Bell Chase, 1.
Yeah, one. I
Actually,
mean,
two.
two,
Some
I'm
teams
sorry.
say it's 2.
So 2 passes in 48 minutes of action. The Cardinals, I told a friend of mine at work, because he was like, name me one team you think can get to the dome that some people may on the surface say no. And I said, Bell Chase. He said, is it because you saw them? It's like, I've seen them twice. They shut out Shaw and they popped Opelousas. I think this is a team that has an absolute golden chance to get to the dome. And the bracket opened up a little bit this week with Bruley going out, last week. But VK, I think Bell Chase has got something to say the rest of the way. I think they can get to New Orleans. They just got to win 2 more games.
Let me say this right quick because I was talking with Jordan Taylor from Under the Lights um earlier today,
Mhm.
and he asked me about Bell Chase, and I said I think Bell Chase um is a better matchup against West Feliciana than Opelousas. I feel that way. I just felt like Opelousas defense was gonna give them a problem, which they did. They
A
did.
lot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I really feel like the matchup, because this playoffs, it's about matchups. I think this matchup to me favors Bell Chase more than how it did against Opelousas. Go ahead, VK.
And then I think it was a lot of little jitters as well, the bye week a bit, because the center quarterback exchange was kind of a little funny most of the game. And it was just the fact that bye week, and even Coach Myers said it itself, the bye week was good, but there was some little jitters and things that we have to really work on and clean up. Even Ambrose said it in an interview that we have to really clean it up if we're going to continue going forward in the playoffs. So if the timing was right, maybe different story, but the Dylan Carter being missing was really key. but everybody else, played well. And I ain't gonna lie, I give a lot of credit to Opelousas defense. You didn't have, I think Ambrose might have had one or two big runs
Yeah.
the whole game. But at the same time, they did a great job cutting off the running lanes and all that stuff. So nothing was easy. If Carter would have been there, it would have been a little different because Carter can run. But at the same time, regardless of the fact, that defense, I'm telling you, they made Bell Chase earn everything. And I'll tell you one thing, Opelousas next season, with all they got coming back, Harry Coleman is going to get that team together. Opelousas is going to be a problem next season.
Look, another heartbreak. Bruley was up 24-7 to Westphal.
You
That's
sure
West
did.
Louisiana. They were up 21-7. I'm sorry, 21-7, and lost that game to them. As we still trying to do some recaps. Just a quick answer on this one, guys.
Yes, sir.
Quickly, were you guys shocked by the score of Catholic of New Iberia defeating Bunkie? VK first. 41-13, Catholic of New Iberia.
Yes. Yes.
Peppers.
I thought it would be close, but yes, I was shocked.
Peppers.
I told VK this Friday night. I'm not surprised. I said this to you post game. What I told you was that Bunky's team this year is not as good as last year. They're not as deep as last year. And if Catholic and the Iberia they broke like a shot. And Jeffrey Mitchell, I don't know if you're in this chat, you could have our heads, bro, because all three of us took Bunky last week. Um, but look, the Panthers have a good thing going with Jimmy Hillman. This was a horrible matchup against a clearly better Catholic of New Iberia. Reigning stand champions, the diversity that they bring you offensively. Defensively, they're a very solid unit. Bunky didn't have Kyle Johnson and the other kid last year that did a lot of damage. They had Zion Lee, but you gotta have weapons to compete with Catholic of New Iberia. Yeah, and you didn't. And hindsight's 2020. Catholic of New Iberia was a better team in that game by far, 41-13. Um, good effort by the Panthers this season, 9-1. No, there goes TC popping off about his Wildcats. I get that. We'll get to them because they got a very good matchup this week. Uh, but give credit to the Catholic and the Iberia. Some people thought, well, and now, and I know we're going to pick this game tomorrow night because we're picking every game. But Catholic and the Iberia and Lafayette Christian is going to be one doozy of a matchup this week. Oh my goodness! And some people will favor the upstart challengers from Lafayette Christian, and some people will resort to the defending champions. That's going to be a very interesting tussle Friday in the quarterfinals, Catholic and Lafayette Christian.
Gotcha. I got another one for y'all. Let's talk about this for just for a little bit.
Okay.
Lutcher Bulldogs defeat Franklin Parish 42-41. But if you all haven't heard, and we talked about it on the boot breakdown, game goes into overtime. Franklin Parish gets the ball first and scores, but decides to go for two. Now, I don't know if the kicker had got hurt after the last extra point that he kicked. I don't know. But if he wasn't hurt, why are you going for two when you got to score first?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question I have. Was your kicker hurt to where you had to go for two? Or if he wasn't hurt, why did you go for two? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I don't want to, be that person, but I'm like, you went for two? So Lutcher scores and kicks the extra point and they win the game. That's what I'm like. Now, I'm just wondering if anyone knows if Franklin Parish kicker got hurt after kicking the extra point to make it 35, whatever, let me know. And then I understand why they went for two. But if not, then I don't know why they went for two when they had the ball first. VK.
Yeah, I hearing that from you just now, I'm like, wow. That's if your kicker hurt, I get it. But going for two, I mean, that's risky. Very, very risky right there and there. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of credit going to Lutcher. That's a young Lutcher team. And they showed right there that they have grown up. They have grown up. and probably the best coaching job, Dwayne Jenkins. Dwayne Jenkins has done some great work overall, period. But this might be his best coaching job he has ever done, because this is a young Lutcher team. And for them, they kept getting better and better late in the year. I think they only had one loss in district, I believe, or two. I think it was two. They lost to Bandy and they lost to Edie White. So for them to finally come together and get a couple playoff wins, including this huge road win, this young team has grown up, and this is going to be a scary Lutcher team. Not just going into this game against Iowa, but for years to come. And what they did, running over 350 yards, criminal against this Franklin Parish team.
I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked. I didn't think it'd be that much, but I'm a little shocked. Peppers, your thoughts?
On Lutcher, it was a doubly impressive effort. But for Franklin Parish, and I'm not one to be that guy, but that was super aggressive what they did in that overtime. No situation, unless like you said, JB, if the kicker was nicked up, banged up, that's the only ideology I could say, yeah, go for two. But if he was healthy, why you not kicking that extra point and force it in the hands of Lutcher? If they score, hey, do we want to trade scores with this offense, or do we go for the dub? Maybe you make Dwayne Jenkins think about it if you score first and kick the extra point, which they did score first. But they did it. They went for two. I can't fathom why. Like you said, unless the kicker got knocked around, hurt in some fashion,
Kenny
then yeah.
Has
got
just
an answer.
explained it.
He said they went for two out of a certain formation that they ran after the previous touchdown. They had Lutcher food. They tried to sneak it in on them again, but a bad snap threw it all off.
Basically, it was a swinging gate. Like, we've been seeing that this year, JB, when people trying to set up in a certain swinging gate formation before they go get together and kick the extra point. So basically what happened, Franklin Parish fooled Lutcher on the swinging gate and converted. Then all of a sudden, they tried it again, which was maybe the worst time to really do that. Just go ahead, get in your regular formation, try to kick the ball, see what you can do. They try to get him again, but like we seen in the Opelousas Belche, bad snaps, and that's what it is. And one false move, especially a bad snap, can cost you dearly, and it cost Franklin Parish.
All right, ladies and gents, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, hopefully we can still try to get Coach Duron, but we're going to start previewing some of the quarterfinal games that are happening this week. So y'all stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on the Hash It Out Show. What's up, everybody? Me and VK Jones had to come to Little Dizzy's. Yeah, well, VK, man, wasted no time, and he loved the fried chicken and the dirty rice from Little Dizzy's. Look at what I had. Yes, indeed. Oh, y'all know I love candy yams. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that fried chicken was one of the best I ever had. And just like how Miss Arkisha Baquette says it, come to Little Dizzy's, where the food is always hot and it comes straight from the pot. Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Auto Glass can help. For 20 years, Leo Auto Glass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504-301-8353. Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504-940-7552.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
And welcome back to the Hatchet Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy, VK Jones, and we got George Pepper somewhere. There he is, frozen. I don't know. You know, he got the internet. You know, y'all know about that. But anyway, we're moving on. Ladies and gentlemen. We got some big time games happening. But what you just saw, the Hatchet Out Show Friday night game of the week. We will be in Kentwood, Louisiana. Jules Sumner Cowboys hosting the Calvary Baptist Cavaliers. Pregame is at 6:45. Kickoff will start at 7 o'clock. If you're not able to make it, join us right here on the YouTube page of JB the Sports Guy. We are bringing you all the action from Kentwood between Jules Sumner and Calvary Baptist. Join us, everybody. We want y'all with us so you can see this great quarterfinal game that's happening between those two teams. Let me get to the chat right quick. Corey Ray, 337 food better though. Hey, and I'm from New Orleans, and I agree. I got family in Lake Charles. I've been said that 337 food better than New Orleans food. New Orleans might want to kick me out after me saying that. But anyway, let's move along.
Yeah, because we know you're a Spurs fan, so yeah.
What the hell Spurs got to do with 337 and 504?
No, I'm just saying. You said that New Orleans. No. I just said you said something about Lake Charles food better than New Orleans food, and you said they might as well kick me out of New Orleans. Well, he's just saying I've said another example of somebody not liking a New Orleans, like something New Orleans wise, you like something else. But it's a free country. It's a free country. You like what you can like. You know what I'm saying? You like what you like. You like 337 better than New Orleans. It's cool with me. I think most of the time the small towns, especially the river parishes, Bayou and stuff, the food is off the chain. I love New Orleans food, but I ain't gonna lie.
River Paris food ain't got nothing on New Orleans either.
I'm just saying the small towns, those country
beat me up
places.
in Harville tomorrow.
Oh Lord!
You said our food ain't good, JB?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that. I think New Orleans food better. That's all. But 337, yes, sir.
So 337 better.
The day I die.
What food outside of 337 is as good or a little bit better than New Orleans? I just asked.
What food?
What food outside besides 337 is good or
it's 337 in New Orleans.
Just 337 New Orleans.
337 in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Peppers, you ready, bro?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we
I
go.
need to bring my appetite for this segment.
All right. Let's talk about some of the games that's happening. Let's do this quickly. We're not gonna go through every game. We're gonna talk about some of them. 26 seed Barb going to Neville. Do y'all think they have a shot for the upset?
Absolutely. I really think Barb has really outdone themselves, and I think they have a great shot Friday night.
All right. You got Peppers.
The most dangerous team is a team playing with confidence, and that is the Buccaneers of Barb right now. I don't think there's any question they have a chance. Still, are we going to pick them? Y'all got to tune in tomorrow night to see that result. But let's be honest, they have a real opportunity here. They do. Consider, again, confident team building. You know, now they get a Neville team that doesn't have an overwhelming advantage. Seed-wise, they are. But when you look at it match and match, you know, player to player and whatnot, tell me where Neville is decidedly better. You really don't. Because Barb's a young team.
I think talent-wise, Neville's better. I would say that.
They are, but are they? But what I'm saying is, are they like one-sided better? No, I think this is a reasonably close game. They're not going to do 56-3. No, I think Barb's in with with a chance. Are we saying we're going to pick them? No, y'all got to tune in tomorrow night to see that.
There you have it. There you have it. Casey Ray thinks Barb has a great shot. The running back, yes, Jordan Griffin, who's going to play baseball at LSU. It's going to be huge, even though Neville's defense is stingy. Yes, sir. All right. Let me find another game for y'all right quick. Central Zachary, guys. Central won the first game, I believe, 33-31 or 35-33. What's your thoughts, VK Jones?
Now, I ain't gonna lie. Both of these teams, the way they played in round 2, really, I mean, I'm gonna say this. That's the kind of shock I had, especially Zachary. I would not think if I knew they would win against Denham Springs, and they would win in a close one. But I did not
What's
expect
up,
them to
Gustavo?
go in. I did not expect them to go into Denham Springs and dominate the way they did. Now they look like the Zachary we know. So it's going to be interesting. Central showing big time medal this week. Big time medal against East Ascension. Big time medal. And I mean, for them to show that they're still the defending champs, I think that game is going to be a hell of a game Friday night.
Okay. Profit wasn't cold, but no rain, no sleet, no snow. Maybe some wind. Peppers.
So you talk about Central and Zachary. Um, did we oversell Denham Springs last week? That's the thing. I'd like to think.
I'm not gonna say oversell. You know, I picked it to the semis, but then you got to realize Zachary's been there. Denham Springs trying to get there. That's the difference.
Right. So the lights were a little too bright for the Yellow Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Central, though, all year long they've heard, well, y'all can't repeat. Y'all can't repeat. All of a sudden, they're playing on Thanksgiving week, and they're playing a matchup they won in the regular season by 2. Again, we go back to the axiom of it's tough to beat the same team twice, especially if game 1 was a nail biter, which this one was. Central goes to Zachary, right? Not That's an easy trip. Baton Rouge, whatever. Um, I think we're in for a good matchup, good coaching matchup with Semino and Brewerton. I like this matchup in that respect. Which team is going to come down to earth in this game? Because both teams played a little above themselves last week. Which one is going to be the one to not catch that same energy and same wave that they got last week? That's to me something I would be very much attentive to this week with those two.
All right. All right. What was I about to say? I forgot. I started chatting. My mind went crazy. People perfect. Thank you. Us New Orleans people who live out of state, the South are a bit curious. Gotcha. You good, bro. All right. Evangel, guys. Evangel coming to town to take on Edna Carr. Does Evangel have what it takes, ladies and gentlemen, to pull off the biggest shocker in the playoffs? Is it possible, VK Jones? Don't give us your pick.
No, it's not. It's not no pick.
Give us your thoughts about the
This
matchup.
is my thoughts. This is my thoughts. I don't think it's impossible. I really don't think it's impossible because the fact that Evangel's battle tested. They're very much battle tested. And I think they're gonna be coming ready to play. And it's gonna be an amazing battle. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the state of Louisiana going against one another, and John Johnson and Peyton Pop Houston. So I tell you, it's gonna be I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's gonna be some fireworks in this game, but at the same time, I think the defenses are gonna have to really step it up. And Evangel has a very, very improved defense, and they have been really making big plays. I think Evangel's just got to be focused, laser focused, and do what they have to do. But on top of that, they can't make too many mistakes against the defending state champs, because if you do, I think Edna Carr is starting to become like a John Curtis now. They take advantage of your mistakes and they make you pay the price. But I cannot wait to see what happens on Friday, especially with the battle of the quarterbacks. So it's gonna be amazing to see.
Man, I got a phone call from a car coach after the boot breakdown.
Really?
I did.
Is something you said?
They were like, "Oh, you said, this is what he said. Oh, so we didn't look like Carr, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, Carr, well, yeah, there's a standard at Carr, but we didn't look like Carr. All right, JB, we got you. We got you, JB. We see how you are, JB. I was like, bro, I'm just saying what I saw. I watched everything. Did not look like Carr that we know. That's all I said. They were like, yeah, all right. It's all good, JB. We're gonna show you. That's all right, cool.
I think you gave them motivation now. Oh Lord.
Peppers, your thoughts.
For the price of admission, I pay to see Pop Houston and John Johnson play ball. That much I can say. This is where the comparisons end, though. I think the question you want to ask is whose defense do you feel more trusting about in this game? Is it Evangel, who's improved, or is it Carr, who's just demolished a lot of teams this year? Their closest game was what was it, a triple overtime win over American Heritage in week 2,
Overtime.
way back?
Just
Yeah,
overtime.
just regular overtime?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was their closest game. Every other game they have played, they have won in dominant fashion. So they haven't been tested. The other part of this thing with Evangel, if they can hang around, take this thing to the fourth quarter with a chance, how does Carr respond? Because how many teams lesser than Evangel have knocked off Carr? I say lesser, but teams that don't have the premier guy like they do. You know, what was it Westgate that put him out in the semis before they won against Warren Easton in the championship?
They put out Carr? No, they put out Carr
Yes.
they put out Carr in the semis.
Yeah, they took him down in the semis and then got to the dome and survived a coach's call that a lot of people disagreed with. But Westgate that year didn't have there was a lot of youth. And I bring this up because Evangel has a quarterback that can do a lot of damage. He's an early LSU verbal. Peyton, I don't know if you want to go there, considering what we said about LSU a couple of weeks ago. But if Evangel's offense can get a semblance of rhythm and force Carr to play their way, meaning Carr's got to go down up and down the field. If they could do that, they have a chance. And those are the keys. I think to me, the first question I brought up is the easiest. Which defense do you trust more in this spot? Do you trust the improved Evangel defense, or do you trust those littered 5 stars that Carr's got? A lot of big time talent on that defensive side. That's the question, and that's the thing I'm going to notice Friday. We're not going to be there, obviously, because we have the game we have with Calvary Baptist and Joel Sumner, but I'm going to pay attention to that game, too.
All right. So let's move along to Division 2 Select right quick.
You said Westgate was youthful. That wait a minute.
They weren't senior late that year. They were.
No, they were senior late, and I was there that night at that stadium. Yes, sir.
We were too.
I
was senior lady, the quarterback, and then Danny Lewis, tight end.
I forgot about Danny Lewis.
Yeah,
bro, the experience they had on that team. Like me, Ken, and Willie Brooks called the game. It was, and I looked at the roster and was like, good Lord, look at all the senior leaders they have and the experience. You know, they still had some people back the next season, but it was a senior league team.
I saw that Westgate team play Lake Charles College Prep early in the year.
You sure did.
I saw him, and that was in the rain. I was in Lake Charles, and I saw that game. Let's move on, guys. Division 2 Select, the only division with all top 8 seeds still playing. Which matchup stands out the most to you?
You said which division one more time?
2 Select.
2 Select. All 18 still in the fold. I'm gonna be honest.
Coach Norm, what's happening, man? What's up, Coach Norm? What's going on?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Looking at these matchups, I'm gonna say out of the, I gotta go with both Madison Prep, University Lab in the rematch, and then St. Charles Catholic and E.D. White. Those two are going to be barn burners all the way to the end, because you look at Madison Prep, University Lab getting a close win. And they've been battling great games these last couple of years. And they're going at it one more time. Madison Prep with a chance to try to get their leg back. But, it's going to be a really tight game Friday night. And I think they're going right back to that university because the first game was at university. So they're back to the scene of the crime. So it's going to be interesting to see with those two, how they go at it. St. Charles Catholic, they've been having a very great season. They've been really standing out. Edie White, they got hot at the right time. Edie White's battle tested. They had that tough schedule for a reason. And then on top of that, they have an experienced quarterback. So it is going to be interesting to see. It's gonna be a close, I think it's gonna be really close. But Edie White, just make sure that the biggest thing about Edie White, just take care of the ball and don't make too many mistakes because St. Charles Catholic can take advantage of it. But it's gonna be a monster game Friday night.
Peppers.
I was going to say Madison Prepping University because
Yeah, I know
that's
he took two of them. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
know.
Yeah.
But I'll say that one, but I'll also add another game in a second. But Matt, let me just say about MP and University. They played an absolute barn burner earlier in the year. Expect the same here in the quarterfinals. I think this is going to be a fascinating quarter. University trying to get their lick back, and we'll see. I think that's going to be a very interesting game. I don't think there's much of a spread in between them when you look at the disparity. There's really no disparity. There's not a clear advantage for one side over the other, even schematic. So that sets up for a very interesting quarterfinal, and U High gets to host that game, correct?
Yeah, and actually Madison Prep is trying to get their leg correct. University won that first game.
University beat
and they
them the
played
first
that
time. But the other game
Yes.
that I mentioned, the other game that I'm going to mention, JB, this is for you. Shaw at Loyola Prep. Why? It's the contrast in this game. Loyola Prep is one of the fastest per snap teams in the state as far as how fast they go to the line and take the snap. I think they're top in the state. They take like 13 seconds per play or something crazy, some insane number. Shaw hasn't seen that kind of offense all year. I mean, you could say that about Carr, but St. Aug, but those teams are deliberate. Yes, they move a little quick, but this Loyola Prep team is going to be different. Shaw's defense is going to have to really lock in, and you're not going to stop them. What you want if you're Shaw is to keep this game in the 20s and have your offense come out and do what they did last week. I mean, obviously the challenge is greater here. This isn't, and no disrespect to Haynes, but those athletes couldn't line up with Shaw. I saw some of the videotape of that game, and they just looked outmatched. Clearly, how does Loyola stand up? And here's the thing about North Louisiana that's a little disconcerting. What good defensive team can you say, yeah, I'm gonna hitch my wagons to you and put you all the way to the dome? Besides North DeSoto, who else? I'm not sitting there and telling you Loyola Prep can stop people. They've shown you the schedule was a little light, and the one big game that they had, they got whooped. North DeSoto popped them.
They
You know,
got them in the second half.
I know that, but they won by 14. They were getting away. They showed their superiority and got away. That's what I'm saying. So Shaw's in with a chance Friday night, a real shot. Now their defense this is a challenge they haven't seen JB all year. They haven't seen this kind of team all year. And you could tell me Carr, you could tell me Aug. Okay, I get that. But Loyola, like I said, they're one of the fastest per snap teams in the state when it comes to taking snaps. It's gonna be a different challenge for Hank Tierney, and I want to see schematically how he preps those guys. You know what? They're going to be well prepared. Bet that. Bet that they will be ready to go. If they go down, they're going to go down swinging. They're going to go down with their best.
I'm gonna say this because Shaw was the one I was gonna talk about. And some kind of way, I just ran across some film of Loyola Prep. I ran across some film. They run a 3-3-5 defense. 3-3-5. And the outside linebacker, number 6, Alex Mitchell. I don't know how I came across his name either, but it was there. They like to bring him down a lot. And he likes to guess the snap count. And a lot of the film, the offensive line is not adjusting the blocking scheme. He's coming untouched every time. So if Shaw can see that on film, which they probably have, I think Shaw gonna have something for that. I think Shaw gonna be able to run the ball on these boys. I really do. I think Shaw will be able to run the ball on Loyola Prep. The question is, will Shaw be able to score points? They're gonna have to. And they're gonna have to keep that offense off the field. Now, I'm confident in the defensive backs of Shaw. Because like I said, I think Carr has the best set of defensive backs in this area. And then I said Shaw number 2, right behind him. I really am confident in the defensive backs at Archbishop Shaw. But with that being said, that D-line still got to get pressure on this quarterback. They got to. They can't let him just stand up in the pocket for 15, 20 seconds, having all day to throw, because eventually he's going to find somebody open. So they got to get pressure on that quarterback. They have to. So that's Division 2 select. Let's go to the other one, Division 2 non-select. And which game intrigues y'all the most in Division 2 non-select? VK, go first.
Okay. Well, the game that intrigues me in this division, Plaquemine and Cecilia.
Okay.
I think that
Cecilia been
intrigues me.
wishing for this since last year. They get their wish.
Exactly. This right here, and I think this Cecilia won that last year, or was it Plaquemine that won it? I think Cecilia won that last year, right? Or refresh my memory, dude. I know it's a rematch.
Who won the state
Oh
championship?
yeah. Never mind, my dude. Never mind. I'm sorry. The way you worded it for a second, it had me confused. But you straight.
What I worded?
No. You good. That's my bad. Don't worry about that. No, I'm a man of my word. But last year, Plaquemine, like we mentioned, this team has been really coming up and coming back from the dead. They had a great season. It ended against the defending state champs. And now they're back again in the quarters. They've been really outstanding, even with the new coach. But now a return trip. Plaquemine, this is their shot to get back to the semifinals for the first time in a long time. Can they get there? I don't know. But Plaquemine, the biggest thing that they got to do if they're going to get payback, they got to play 4 quarters and finish the game. That's the most important thing. They have to finish the game. They had a shot. They had Cecilia, but didn't finish the job. And Cecilia came back and won that ball game. So now, shoes on the other foot for Plaquemine. This is their chance. But if not, Cecilia will probably be back in the semifinals and a chance to still defend their state championship.
Peppers?
For me, I like that choice, but let's try Iowa. That's the one and I see Ken in the chat. I'm gonna go with that matchup. Why? For the last few years has teased at making big runs, got to the semis, got to the quarters. Here they are again in the quarters, and they're a 2 seed and they're hosting. The pressure's on the home team in this game. I think because they've had a few years, but Lutcher has the to the dome and winning. I don't know if this Lutcher team is good enough now. They were good enough last week against Franklin Parish. Do they have that performance in them here Friday night? That's going to be a question I want to see answered. And I know this. Dwayne Jenkins is going to have them boys ready to knock fire. There's light fire on Friday night. They're going to be ready to go. Iowa, you're home. It's Thanksgiving. How do you respond to this challenge? Because this is a very formidable challenge you have against the Bulldogs, JB.
Yes, sir. Division 3 non-select, guys. What's your most intriguing matchup in Division 3 non-select?
Division 3 non-select. I can definitely tell you.
Don't tell me no 2. Tell me 1.
And I ain't gonna give you 2. I'm gonna give you 1. I'm gonna definitely say St. James Oak Grove.
Okay.
I think it's going to be interesting because of the fact we know St. James uh, trying to get back to the dome and everything else. But Oak Grove, this is a step up game. This is a big time game. And if Oak Grove win this ball game right here, I mean, they have some big wins in their history. They have multiple state championships, but I think if they get this one, this might be one for the history books. This might be one of the biggest victories ever in that school because this is a high classification and this is a powerhouse they're going against, especially in 3A. So this is a big time step up matchup. We know St. James, we know what they can do, but we know what Oak Grove can do. But we'll see what happens if Oak Grove can take care of that ball and keep that St. James offense off the field, knowing they have all their weapons back. It is going to be interesting. So I really think it's going to be intriguing because the contrast in styles.
Peppers.
Mansfield Tina, I think is my pick. I like St. James Oak Grove too, but Mansfield Tina, and here's why. Mansfield played an exhausting game last week against Marksville, 62-60. Lots of points were scored. Guess what Gina can do just about as good as Marksville? Score. And they're the 1 seed. Now Mansfield's got to get on that bus and go to Gina. Um, the Giants are waiting. They will be ready to roll. How much does Mansfield have in the tank? Because you don't play these games every week, 62-60 games, and think you're going to survive. You've got to be able to have some gas in the tank. Did they empty it against Marksville? I don't know. But Gina didn't really get pushed in the second round last week. Didn't get much resistance. That's the matchup that gets me because of those superlatives in the game.
All right. Division 4 select is where I went to right quick. Division 4 select. I think we could say maybe Washita Christian versus Riverside is the one for all three of us. Your
I'll
thoughts
take this
on?
one.
Go ahead. Your thoughts on Peppers?
I'll take this one first. Yeah, it is this one. It's a great coaching matchup. Fitzhugh and Roussel. Good coach, great coaching matchup. Two premier coaches. Riverside trying to get back to the dome. Uh, they've promised this all year long. And remember, I really like that. I've said this about their quarterback, Brock Bourgeois. I like him a lot. I think his makeup is good. I think the team feels more well rounded. You know, a lot of people had this misperception that Dedrick Lasty doesn't do anything, Riverside can't do anything. They proved themselves last year. You know, they really did. And I think this is another statement against a formidable team in Washington Christian that, by the way, got a very impressive win against Southern Lab last week. That game, if you could have told me they would have won by 30, I think was the final margin, I'd have thought you were nuts. But this matchup promises to have a lot of fireworks. Rebels are home. Washington's got to get on that early morning ride Friday to get down there to reserve. But that's my matchup, VK. Now look at the other matchups. What else to respect? It's got to be this one.
It is, but I'm going to go different because of what's been going on recently. Hamilton Christian and Ascension Episcopal. Hamilton Christian right now is probably one of the most resilient teams in the state because of what is going on right now. And there's a lot going on at that school and a lot of distractions. And for them, and giving props to Jordan Taylor that said that on Sunday. These people straight up rose above the noise, strapped it up, and let's go do what we got to do. I guess we got to do that every time. I'll pause. But regardless of the fact, they had to equip themselves and do what they had to do to get the win. They played ball and they played very, very well. Now they're in the quarterfinals and they're hosting again. So Ascension Episcopal, a lot of playoff experience themselves. Can Hamilton Christian overcome everything, especially the inexperience of being in this level? I don't know. I don't know if it's their first or second quarterfinal appearance, but you know Ascension Episcopal been there. So it's a huge, intriguing matchup. If Ascension Episcopal be focused and take care of business, they can win the game. But if Ascension Christian, if Hamilton Christian comes in there and feel like more than anything else that everybody
I mean, where
is
they
saying,
at home? They at home.
no, I did say that. I said it was at home, right? I did.
You said they come in there. Like, where they
No,
going?
I'm gonna say, I'm saying coming into the game, not
Oh,
coming into the game.
I got you.
Coming into the game, if they come with that mentality of everybody's saying that we're going to lose, everybody's saying we got too much going on, everybody's against us against the world, and they go in there, don't make too many mistakes, they got a chance to crack to the semifinals. But we'll see. It's interesting with a lot going on up in Lake Charles.
Hamilton Christian will play this game at Washington Marion High School,
Hmm.
right there for I-10.
Yeah, we was wondering because like you was trying to find out because I think they played at LaGrange last week. So you was wondering where they was going to play at and everything else. And I'm wondering where LCCP is going to be playing. And that's amazing. 3 Lake Charles area teams still in postseason. That's amazing, man. That's really amazing. And we can't forget our way is not that far from it. But regardless of the fact, it's amazing that all 3 are still in there. And LCCP, are they playing at LaGrange or where they playing?
I told you the fight was over LaGrange. I told you those 2 teams are fighting over LaGrange, and LCCP got it this time.
Wow.
All right. Last one, Division 4 non-select.
Wait, you didn't get mine.
Most intriguing matchup.
Oh,
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. Something select?
We just did Division.
Or
We just did
select.
Division 4.
Select.
That's
But
what
I
we
didn't
just
give
did.
you
I'm
mine.
going to Division 4 now. Yes, you did.
Who'd I give you? I didn't give you nobody.
Yes,
I was
you
going to say
did.
something.
Reserve,
No,
Riverside and Washita.
that's 3, isn't it?
No, that's 4.
Oh,
No,
that's right.
4.
Okay, I was going to say South Platte and North Iberville too, but I think they're not select. Okay,
Yeah, that's where I'm
jumping ahead of the
going.
gun.
Yeah.
I got you, boss.
Oh,
I guess that lack of food is getting to me, JB. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it is, bro. The lack of
I
food
know.
getting to
It's
me.
messing with my
Yeah.
head, man.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
I know.
All
The
right.
intriguing. Okay.
Division 4 non-select. Go ahead. Go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
Peppers.
I'll go with it. Since I spoiled the apple cart here,
Yeah.
South Plaquemines and North Iberville, and here's the intrigue in this: the Hurricanes have not looked like a championship team lately. They struggled mightily against West St. Mary last week. Don't know if there were injuries involved or any suspensions or any kind of off the field stuff that happened. But with all due respect, they should have won that game much more comfortably than 6-0. North Iberville is a worthy challenger in this round in the quarterfinals. Lyle Feed, I know, is going to get the best he can out of them, but they don't feel like a team like last year. You look at South Plaquemines and say, man, y'all ain't got the swagger of last year's team. That last year's team, they knew what was on the line. They had business intentions and they got it done. You can't sit there and tell me with a straight face to win 6-0 against West St. Mary and tell me, oh, that's a championship team. They got to show it to me this week because North Iberville, if they play their right game, they can win that game. And VK, that's where I'm going.
It's a good. I think I like that matchup. It's a good one too because of the fact the way North Iberville has been working, not too long, young of a program, and Coach Gass has done some great things. This is going to be an interesting matchup. But to me, my pick is it's got to be Logansport Generette because of the fact that Logansport has been there, done that, and they're trying to get back to the semifinals. Generette is trying to punch that ultimate ticket because they might have had maybe once or twice they've been in the semis in their history, but Generette has been in the quarterfinals one time before, but they've been in there many times and came up short. Now, is this their time? They finally get it done. Do they finally break the glass ceiling? They're at home against Logansport. Can they do it? It's going to be a heck of a ball game. Logansport has a lot of experience. Generette has a lot of experience, and they're very athletic. So I really think it could be a low-scoring game. It could be a high-scoring game. Who knows? But I think it's going to come down to the wire between these two teams.
South Platte and North Iberville is mine. South Plaquemines didn't play up to par last week. West St. Mary probably had a good defensive plan as well to only hold that team to 6 points. I just don't think they'll be held to 6 points this week, but North Iberville can score as well. And I think that is going to be a tremendous challenge for both teams. And we're going to see what happens with that. So, but tomorrow, everybody, we are back tomorrow. We're supposed to have Jimmy Watson joining us. We're going to talk about these Shreveport teams that are playing these New Orleans teams tomorrow. There's 3 of them. Loyola Prep playing Shaw. You have Evangel playing Edna Carr. And let me think. Calvary Baptist, of course. I'm messing y'all. Calvary Baptist playing Jules Sumner.
Did we do Division 3 select? Or
I didn't do it. I didn't do it because the most intriguing game in Division 3 select is the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week, Jules Sumner versus Calvary Baptist. That's why I didn't do Division.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, of course.
Go with that.
Smart guy. So we're back tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen. Right now I'm gonna say 7 o'clock. But if we're not on at 7 o'clock, just keep checking at 7:15 or 7:30. It's gonna be within that time frame. We have to do the Hornville Invitational tomorrow. So just keep an eye out. 1 second, VK.
No problem. And tune in tomorrow for the Hornville Invitational. We start at 2 o'clock with George Washington Carver. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna be. It's gonna be George Washington Carver and John Curtis. A hell of a matchup starting the day at 2 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock closing out the Invitational. The homestanding Hornville Tigers taking on the LB Landry Buccaneers. So it's gonna be 2 interesting matchups. Tune in tomorrow. We start our coverage, I believe, at 1:50 or 1:55. Just tune in. JB the Sports Guys YouTube.
2:20.
2:20?
Yeah, because it starts at 2:30.
I'm sorry. 2:30 is the first tip. So 2:20, we're gonna come on JB the Sports Guys YouTube page. Tune in tomorrow for an exciting doubleheader.
All right. I said we're about to end this show, but looks like we may not be ending the show. Coach Duron just texted me back. He apologized. He said it slipped his mind. He said they had a late practice today. So he said, I can come on another time or come on now. I said, you can come on now. I see. Come on right now. And we're gonna get this going right quick, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta add something right here before I bring him in. All right, let's get it going.
Yes, sir.
Our next guest, he's a legend. He is a legend. And he has Evangel back in the quarterfinals. They are taking on the Edna Carr Cougars Friday night in Algiers, Louisiana. We have the one and only Coach Denny Duron. How you doing, Coach?
I'm great, Jared. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Coach. I'm doing great, man. We just
Great.
happy that you are able to join us. Let's get right into it, Coach. This playoff run now, you're playing Thanksgiving week, which everybody loves to do. What has been the key to maintaining momentum and focus this late into the season?
Well, I think our guys just chose their own identity, and that was to be assignment-centered players. They're not a big group. I don't give a lot of rousing pep talks or try to motivate them. They are just guys that have fallen in love with this game and are excited about the game plan each week and want disciplined football. And the defense has gotten just so much better, and they have been a huge key to this season.
What would you say so far? I know you had a bye from the first round, but what would you say so far has been maybe the most challenging aspect of the playoffs so far?
It's always preparing for somebody that you don't have a lot of history with. We had, we had played St. Paul's on occasions, and both games were very, very close. The last time they came to our place, it was a trip. So I had great respect for their coach and coaching staff, and what they were able to do with their kids, and also watching them on film. They were disciplined on both sides of the ball. They just weren't going to beat themselves. You were going to have to beat those guys, and we were close. It was 20-14 into the fourth quarter, and then we were able to pull away, thankfully pull away. But it was quite a challenging matchup, and that's the way it is from now on. I mean, there are 8 teams left in this thing, and it's going to be quite a, I guess 16. I guess there's 16 left, right? In the
8.
eight, they're
Quarterfinal 8.
8.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, okay, right. So we are where everybody's playing good right now, and the 8 teams that are left for a reason. And we're just excited about having a title shot, man. Golly, what could be better than playing Edna Carr in their backyard? We are so fired up about that opportunity.
Speaking of Edna Carr, yes, Friday night you guys get to play Edna Carr, and when I think of Edna Carr these days, I think about Evangel from the years ago with the Booties and Brock Berlin. That's just to me the comparison I have with Edna Carr these
Mhm.
days. But what is it that you've seen on film that stands out to you about Edna Carr?
Well, just everything that all of you guys know and everybody else knows that watches them or has seen them play live or on video. And that is that those coaches do an unbelievable job of reining a lot of talent in. I'm talking about those boys are disciplined football players. It's not just a bunch of guys getting out there who are 4 and 5 star athletes and ad libbing. I mean, their coaches are incredible. And my first experience with them was at a 7-on-7 in LSU.
Hmm.
And of course, our boys are kind of loose, and they come into the area where the teams are all gathering. They're talking and laughing and eating snacks, and all of a sudden, here comes the Green Beret, man. I mean, it's Ed in a car walking in to camp, and they're 2 by 2. They've got their backpacks slung over the same shoulder. I can't remember what it was, but if it was the right shoulder, they all had them on the right shoulder. Nobody's talking. There aren't any sunglasses. There aren't any headphones. I mean, they have come for business. And then they came to the area where they sat down. I mean, I watched them, and they all sit down and just were quiet. They were talking quietly among themselves. Nobody was goofing off. And I thought, yeah, you can talk all you want to about them having the best players. That's not what it's all about. It's about them having great players, but a coach that absolutely has them under his thumb and is doing a heck of a job growing some young men up into maturity. So I can't say enough good things about these guys. I can't wait to get there and play, and that's the truth. We are honored to be able to have a title shot because you got to knock out the champion, and they're the champs.
Yes, sir. You are correct about that. VK Jones, your turn.
Yes, sir. Coach Duron, man, good to have you on, and it's
Thank
an
you.
honor to have you on. And man, very legendary in itself. And I want to ask you this first. You have this is your second go around with Evangel and
Yes.
everything. A lot's been going on, a lot of transitions and everything else. What was your thoughts when you had got a phone call from Evangel and asked you, "Hey, Coach Duron, do you want to come back, help us out, and try to give us another run?"
Well, it's interesting. What that would seem to be what would have happened, but what you have to understand is that my family started this school, and my history owns this school, and so I've always been involved in a measure. But over the last years, I have not been involved in football. Coach Dawson was our coach for 9 years, just an amazing football coach, wonderful. But after he left, um, there was, the 2020 thing was tough for everybody, every business, every family, every school, I'm sure. And our school really began to plummet. Um, we were in trouble. We were on life support. We had 28 players in 2020, and that was it. And so I immediately released the young head coach I had, not because he was a bad guy or a bad coach, but I just knew I had to do this. And this is what I do. I started the Evangel University program when I was 24 years old in Missouri. And then I started this program because my mom had started this school. And she said that I promised to give the boys a football experience. Now, I'm not going to ever say my mom lied, but I can't ever remember telling her that. But anyway, I did it, and we started that program, and then our third year, we were we were undefeated in district play, and we went to the quarterfinals and got beat by Oak Grove, who was the eventual state champion in our third year. And that was when I went out and hired Dennis Dunn because I was still traveling a lot. And I wanted the boys to have more continuity as far as having a coach that was there, when I was having to do a lot of traveling in the off season. And the reason I was traveling is because I did speaking engagements, and then I brought the money back to help us support this little school called Evangel, because we're not a moneyed school. We're an anomaly. We're an other side of the track private schools. So our kids by and large don't come from wealthy or well-to-do families, and they are neighborhood kids and wonderful kids. And I love Evangel. But in 2020, I came back because I knew I had to do this thing, because we weren't going to win a game. We were 0-5, and we were not going to win a game. This young coach was feeling so badly because it's the first losing season since 1990. And he's just feeling horrible. I said, it's not your fault. I said, we're not going to win a game. I said, we've just got to get them fundamentally sound at this stage of the process, so that we'll have something to build on. And when I took over, that's exactly what we did. And a lot of encouragement, a lot of attaboys, just to keep those kids encouraged from week to week. And then we added a few more to our number. And the next year, I think we had 37 kids. And then our numbers begin to grow, and now we're back into the 70s again, which is where we were during our heyday. And we have 70 kids in our junior high program, which is fantastic. And it's exciting to see what's happening at Evangel. These really are the good old days at Evangel. But that's the way it happened, is that I actually hired myself to come back and to take over this program. Now, there are advantages to that, guys, because you know I don't have to worry, because I'm not going to fire myself.
Absolutely. But I mean, I tell you one thing with your mantra and everything, a lot of kingdom building, and I'm telling you, it's a great job you've been doing, coach. And I gotta ask you this next question.
Yeah.
Kind of a two-parter. And after this, I'll give it to George. One, your defense have been very, very improved. Very
Yes.
improved defense. Can you tell us about two or three standouts on your defense that's been really
Oh,
stepping up for you? And then on top
my
of that,
be my yeah. Go ahead. What's the
and
second
the
thing?
and the other question is this: do you think that tough schedule and it's the district has y'all paddle tested and prepared to take on an Edna Carr?
Yeah. Well, here's the first question. We are so proud of our defense, and Day Drake. He's an animal at linebacker. Just does such a great job. And then we have a young sophomore, Bennett Spear, who is also outstanding and led the state in tackles this year. We have two great outside linebackers. They're both undersized as far as they're they're not tall guys, but tremendous football players. But the guy I want to talk about is Ashton Dawson. Ashton Dawson is one of the better players that we have ever had on our campus. He has committed verbally to University of Arkansas, where he will go and play H-back. And that's because of his speed, his agility, his ability to catch the football, his ability to block. He is about 6'2" and 280 pounds. And the big boy can roll. I tell you, he can run. And so he's a guy to look for. We also have a much improved defensive end by the name of Nick Lopez. And Nick, saw himself primarily as a baseball player until this year. And it's just been crazy how he has really grown into this role. Our front has been the story. They're very, very tough to block. Now, when we turn our faces to Edna Carr, we all know that they're the best team in the state, bar none, and maybe the best team in the South. Honestly, they are very talented. I have watched their films ad nauseum, and what I can tell you is, I keep seeing the same thing. I keep wanting to see something else, but I keep seeing the same thing, and that is that they have great players at every single spot. But what we believe is that playing hard and the fact that that ball is not round and can bounce a lot of different directions um, gives us an opportunity to go in there and compete. And I've told the boys from the very beginning, because what I actually said at the beginning of the year, I said I want to play Ed in the car and I want to play them in their backyard, because I want to go there and see what all that's about. I mean, I really do. I want the Edna Car experience, and I want my boys to have it. I want them to go out there and to have that band cranking, and those fans hopping, and those players intimidating, and I want them to face up with that and take their title shot. I tell them all the time. I say, guys, you never see a heavyweight challenger who gets a title shot. I said, you never see them sad or unhappy. I said, it doesn't matter if they're a terrible fighter. They're happy when they get a title shot. And I said, Friday night is about us having a title shot. We get to play the champs. And yet, I will ask them this constantly throughout the year. I'll say, who are we playing Friday night? And their answer is not the champs. And their answer is not Edna Carr. Their answer is high school kids. We're playing high school kids.
Wow.
And that's the way we approach games. Who we playing Friday night? High school kids.
Wow.
And
Love it. Love it.
Amazing,
so
amazing.
what I want them to understand is that's the truth. You got to come to the game, because I want to tell you, it's going to be a great football game. Our kids are so excited to play against these guys, and we're playing. And you have to understand this: we're playing a team that we greatly respect. We respect everything that school has been able to build into the lives of those young men, and so, we're coming in there with a lot of admiration, but we also got a lot of fire in our belly.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was. I know there was one experience y'all had against LCA, and now Carl. I mean, wow. I mean, that's just amazing stuff right there, Coach. George Peppers, you're up next.
Let's go, Coach. First of all, I gotta say this: your confidence is so unwavering, and I admire that a lot. The fact that you and at the same time you understand the challenge that's in front of you. I love your
Absolutely,
confidence. I really do.
they're the
And then look,
champs. They're the champs.
exactly. To beat a champ, what is that old Ric Flair thing? To beat a champ, you got to beat the champ. There you go.
Absolutely.
I mean, So, my first
Yeah,
question, I want to talk about your quarterback.
when you get into, and I'll answer that in just a second, but when you get
Gotcha.
into the tournament that you're going to play the
Hmm.
champ sooner or later, maybe the second round, maybe the third round, maybe in the dome. But if you go all the way, you're going to play Edna Carr. And I told the boys
Hmm.
week one, I said, um, I said, guys, when we got, I said I took a trip to Florida recently, and I said I didn't put Mississippi in my GPS, and I said I didn't put Alabama in there, and I didn't put Georgia in there. I said I put Florida in, and I said when I talk about Carr, I said I don't want you to think I'm looking past anybody. I'm not. Just that when you get in this tournament, you are in it to hopefully at some point be able to play the champ. And it came sooner rather than later for us. And so we get the chance, the great opportunity to play those guys this week, and we cannot wait. I say we are some kind of fired up about it. And you were going to ask me a question about my quarterback?
Yeah, he's really come along. Done a great job. Obviously, is a verbal to LSU for 27, I think. The
Right.
class of 27. Right. Talk about his, everybody knows what he could do on the field, but talk about Peyton Houston off the field. Tell us something we don't know that you see every day.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you asked that way. Thank you. It gives me an
You're welcome.
opportunity to tell the truth about this kid because he is a great player on the field. I mean, he's a linebacker with a quarterback number. He
Mhm.
loves this game. I'm talking about loves this game, brother. When he comes off the field after a series, you can feel the steam rolling off of him. He is a competitor. It's extraordinary, and can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He is a smart field general back there. He reads defenses. He does everything so well. In the gym every single morning at 4:15, working on his own regimen of speed drills, and then where we start practice at 7, and he goes through everything we do. We just finished practice about an hour ago, I guess, and we started really late this afternoon. But we were running sprints at the end, and I just am always amazed that the guy who practices the hardest for us, who is Pop Houston, just feels like he's got to win every sprint. But I mean, he just feels like he's got to win every one of them. And I'm watching him run, and I just said, I've been watching this for 2 years. I expect for it to wane or to fall off. Not going to happen. And he says, a guy loves his mom, his dad. He loves God. Um, he's extraordinary in every way. He is a better human being than he is a quarterback, and I think he's probably um, as good a quarterback as I've seen in my life.
That's a strong statement to make, considering the lineage of quarterbacks that have come through Evangel, with Josh Booty, Brock Berlin, Philip Dees, and the like. That's a heck of a comparison. But again, it goes back to the confidence. You talked about how you're drilling into your team, that you're playing another high school team. But when you look at Carr on film, you know what they do. Tell us some keys, and I'm not trying to get the game plan, but what you
No,
see on film, what are you guys going to have to do to pull this win off and get you a semifinal berth?
well, they're not going to give you many plays, but they're going to give you some because they're high school kids.
Right.
There are going to be opportunities in a high school football game to make plays. And when you play the champ, then you cannot drop the football. You can't knock down the interception. You've got to catch it. You've got to fall on the fumble. You cannot be jumping off sides and putting your team into a third and long situation. You can't be missing blocks. You've got to play courageously. You've got to play with fire and enthusiasm, and you've got to play with faith. You got to believe you can get this done. Um, and those are all going to be factors. And you're going to have to understand that these are great athletes, but they're also well coached athletes. You're not going to be able to slack up when it comes to your fundamentals and your fundamental skill set. So all of these things are the things that we stress every single day in the lives of these young men. So this week of motivation ain't going to be any different than any other. It's just going to be more exciting because we play the hands down the best football team in Louisiana.
Oh, I don't, that'd be hard pressed to make the argument for anybody else, to be all, with all due respect. With that being said, talk about the advantages of practicing on Thanksgiving week. Everybody, we hear coaches say this a lot, but from your perspective, talk about the benefits of practicing this week in advance of one of the great holidays, Thanksgiving.
Well, of course, we love the Thanksgiving holiday, and and all the food and fellowship and family that takes place around this time, and we make sure that we give a wide berth to be able to not interfere with the family time, but at the same time, practicing on Thanksgiving just says something about your program. It really does. Um, People were saying to me, "Man, hope you get by this first game," said, because then you're gonna be able to practice on Thanksgiving for the first time in a long time. That's the truth. It's been a lot of fun practicing this week and knowing that we are in the quarterfinals. Wow, that's pretty exciting.
It is for you guys, and considering how look, I've done this a long time and followed you guys for a long time, and seemed like a staple that Evangel would be in either in a dome or in the semis or in the court, at the very worst the quarters, and to win, what is it, 7 state championships? That's the 6 or 7 state titles they've won in their history. Chance at 8.
14. I'm sorry,
14,
14.
14. I'm
Yeah.
shortchanging you. My goodness, I'm sorry. I am so shortchanging you right now. I'm sorry.
No, it's
But
okay. It's okay. Seven. Hey, seven's a lot.
it is.
It's
But 14 is
it
more.
is.
So, with that said, let me ask you about the strength of the teams in Shreveport this year. You guys, Calvary Baptist, Parkway, all still in with a chance to get to the dome. Talk about
Yeah.
the depth of really, really good football teams in Shreveport and how that area is really elevated this year.
Yeah, I think we've got a great district. I think we've got the best offensive district in the state. 15A is full of really great coaches and guys that just happen to be offensive minded. Um, Captain Shreve was scoring a ton of points this year, and their coach is an offensive mind. Offensive guru does a good job with what he has and is always able to put up points. And of course, you've got Bird High School, which is a juggernaut year in and year out. They were, I guess it was it last year that they were in the semis maybe last year or year
Last year
before.
or 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, and they're in our district. They're tough, great wing team. And then, of
Okay.
course, Parkway. I think that their coach, Coy, um, brother, is
Oh,
a
you
connection
still there?
loss.
We can
Okay.
hear you.
We got you,
Yes,
coach.
sir. Yes, sir.
Other than I think he's the best coach in our district, and I think he chance to win that bracket, to win that side, to win the non select title this year. I
Mhm.
really do. He does a heck of a job. Airlines coach, great offensive mind. We score a lot of points in our conference. Kind of like remember the old Big West, how
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
just all could throw it. And I never understood it because they're playing up there in sub-zero weather and throwing the ball around like it's a spring day, but they would they would score so many points. And we're kind of like the Big West used to be in 15A. We score a lot of points, and it's so much fun. week in and week out to play those teams and those quarterbacks. I think we had 5 quarterbacks that were vying for all district this year. And they were all deserving, every one of them. But we've enjoyed being back in 1-5A. We really, really have. And of course, we're no bigger. In fact, Calvary Baptist is actually bigger than us. Calvary, I think they just go by Calvary, don't they now? Calvary. I don't know
Calvary
if they go by.
Baptist.
I don't know if
They
they go
still go
by.
with the full name, Coach.
I don't know if they go by Baptist or not anymore. I know it's Calvin. They do a heck of a job. Ewan is one of my favorite guys too. He just what a wonderful man and what a good football coach he is, Coach Ewan. And we're blessed to be in Shreveport and with these wonderful coaches. And what's really great is that when you finally get old enough to understand that just because somebody doesn't like you doesn't mean they have any control over whether you like them or not. And I'm not the most popular guy in this city. When we start winning, I get unpopular. But here's what I will tell you: that doesn't affect me one bit from having great admiration for these young coaches and what they're doing and accomplishing with these young men. They're doing a heck of a job.
JB.
Coach Duron, first of all, I want to say thank you for taking time out your schedule to join us on this show. We truly, truly appreciate it. And
Well,
we
I've
want to
enjoyed it, man. I didn't even
yes,
know this existed, and I didn't even know what I was calling to get into. But I like you guys, man. It's great being with
Thank
you.
you.
thank,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you,
you,
Coach,
Coach.
so much. And we also want to wish you the best of luck Friday night against Edna Carr. And we want
Thank
to
you.
pray that you guys have safe travels and stay injury free come Friday night.
Thank you
Happy
so much.
Thanksgiving, Coach.
Hey, thank you. You too, guys. Bye bye
Definitely.
now.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach. The one and only Coach Denny Duron, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
Oh, that was great. And
Yes.
once again, this thing goes crazy with the thing, whatever. Anyway, all right, guys.
A lot of
So
respect from the chat. A lot of respect from the chat for Coach Duron, man.
definitely, man. That was
Yes. Well done. Well deserved.
that was great. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Um, yep. Coach Duron made a grand entrance, man. Right. We're about to shut it down. He hit me up, bam, and let's get him in here. Let's do it. So
And you know what? I am glad that we got him in because this was an extremely a scintillating interview. Great sound bites from
yeah,
him. What I appreciate when we do interviews with coaches, the confidence he has in his kids, the belief that he instills in his kids. Young coaches, take note. This is how you win. You put the belief, instill a belief in your kids to win, but also live life the right way. And that's what Denny Duron has done at
yeah,
Evangel. They've come from the depths bad. He just mentioned it. 2020, where they were 0-5 or something like that, and
Yeah.
they only had 20 something players. What have you ever thought that Evangel would get that low? You didn't. Nobody did, considering how many titles they won prior to. And now they're in a state quarterfinal. It's a Titanic challenge at in the car. But you know what? He's got me convinced. I think everything he's talked about, those kids are going to go out there with a massive fire in their belly. And I think he qualified that saying that they understand the challenge. And
mhm,
that is the biggest key. If you understand the challenge that is laid, look, he's not a novice. Denny Duron is an icon. He knows what Endicott has done all year long. One single digit game all year. One, right?
yes,
They have not been pushed. So now Evangel's like, you know what? We got the offense to trade with these people. And we got the defense that has gotten better. And if we were able to, you can't stop them. John Johnson and Carr are just not, I don't want to say they're unstoppable, but they're pretty much close to it. But if you can kind of slow the tempo down a little bit, you give yourself a chance. And it's going to be a good game. It can be a good game.
I
Can-
think I enjoyed this one. I think we discovered more about the Evangel program. I that's why I had to ask that question about
I was
that.
gonna tell you off air. You never saw the reality show God Family Football.
Yes.
I need to look at it myself. I know I can catch.
You got to go back to season 1 when he had the Fulgham twins. Go back to
What
season 1.
That was
was
on
that?
Netflix, right?
That's on Tubi, right?
No, I forgot. No, it was on the yes. So season 1 was on Tubi because that's under Amazon. After that, they went to Fox Nation. With the
Okay,
Fox
okay.
Nation. And so, but
Fox Nation.
season 1, he explained all of that. The question you asked, he explained all of that. So when you asked, I was like, oh yeah, I know this answer.
I just wanted to see that because I watched Denny Duron, and what I also discovered more than anything is he told the history, and he basically
Spelled it out.
he is
He
Evangel
is. Yes.
Christian Academy.
Yes.
He said that he started that ministry out of state. When he got back to Louisiana, his mom started. This is similar to John Curtis because JT, his father, started the school. Even though JT Curtis graduated from East Jefferson, his dad started the John Curtis ministry, and
Yep.
especially with the church and the school. So it's amazing to hear, and I'm
And
like,
Coach Duron's a
wow.
pastor as well.
Yeah, he's a yeah. Also,
Yep.
he still does ministry. So
Yes.
he's done ministry over the years, and it explains that's why Dennis Dunn came in because of the fact that that was a hard balance. And for anybody who's into sports, and I even some people I didn't even talk to people that was in private schools or especially in those kind of schools that is headmaster or not just that headmaster and pastor and minister. So it's a lot go on. It's I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes in ministry, it's a hard balance because it's a hard balance between the regular job, the family, and whatever institution you're working with. And you gotta try to balance all three out. So I can understand now. He definitely was behind everything behind the Christian school, but the reason why he had to make the necessary things he had to do, man. And recognizing Coach Dunn, that's huge. And then recognizing Byron Dawson, who really maintained
Did he?
that program
Yes.
until he
Did he?
left.
Right.
So, but he knew right then and then.
Dawson even got a state championship. He won a state
Yes.
championship.
I think
Yep.
one by one or two. So
I think he's the last one to win a state championship of Evangel. Dawson.
exactly.
Yep.
He's the last one. I think he won two of them. He's won two of them.
Okay.
So the thing is it's amazing that he recognized that the program was going down, and he also recognized that he's seen trouble up ahead. And I love it sometimes. And I always said the power of the power sometimes will come down, but it's about how you get up. I love it when great programs, great teams in sports, they'll take a fall, but how long the fall is going to be, and then they start eventually going back up. We're seeing Evangel really starting to come back up. So that is huge, and big ups to Coach Duron, and we appreciate everything. This was an all out great interview, and thank y'all for joining us, staying on and watching amazing stuff. This is why we love our platform because we bring in not just great coaches and players, but legends on our show.
Hey, speaking of legends, we've had Coach Hank Tierney, Coach JT Curtis, Danny Broussard for basketball, Jeff Jones for basketball.
Dennis Dunn,
We have had Dennis Dunn, and we
Charles
just had
Smith.
Coach Duron. Who?
Charles
Charles
Smith.
Smith,
Peabody.
Charles
Peabody.
Smith. Yeah. Charles Smith. Yep. Peabody. We've had a lot of legends. And there's one legend right now that we've been trying to get, and we still want him to come on this show. Bryce Brown.
VK.
Bryce
Bryce
Brown.
Brown.
Bryce Brown.
And also Carlos Sample.
Got to get Carlos Sample too. Yep. So many legends. But yeah. We've tried for Bryce Brown a few times.
No, we had him last year because I ran into him.
Yeah, he ran into him. He said, I'm coming on y'all show. And then he wasn't able to do it.
I think we might have to maybe go there in the car and set something up. And that's what we might have to do. And we can make it happen because I think he'll make the time if we go there and he'll be like, hey, let's do the interview right there and just put it exclusive right there from Hash It Out and release it right then and there. And we'll have him under the belt. And I think Carlos Sample is not going to be a problem. I know he's been doing a lot of things with his own kids that is in college now and stuff like that. So we can definitely make the Carlos Sample interview happen soon, especially the basketball season rolling right now.
G Smoke. Tell your head coach we want him on this show. We have tried.
Well, if we gotta come to call,
I'm
either way.
I won't be fulfilled. Pause. I don't like how that came out.
What is
slow down
going
with that.
on with
I don't like
the
how that came out.
pauses,
Pause,
man?
man.
Oh
We
my
just need to get
god!
Coach Bryce Brown on the show. I'm gonna leave it at that. Jeez.
I think now we're just starting to say pause, and I think because we really got to watch what we kind of say because some don't sound.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let me. Yeah.
Wow, but it is
All
what
right.
it is, though.
All right. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna close it out again. We are back tomorrow. Like I said, the goal is 7:00. If we're not on at 7:00, it's gonna be 7:15 or 7:30. Just make sure you check. If you got the notifications with my YouTube page, then you're good because you know when I come on. If you don't, go cut it on. So that's what we're going for. We're going for 7. If not, 7:15 or 7:30. Depends on when the Harmville invitation ends and we get out of there. We're gonna stream that tomorrow. Also, the Harmville Invitational. We're gonna start at 2:20. It's a doubleheader, 2:20, and then the main event 4:00. First game is Carver versus John Curtis. Second game Harmville versus LB Landry. And then Friday night, the Hatchet Out Show game of the week: Joel Sumner versus Calvary Baptist. Also on the YouTube page of JB the Sports Guy, and that will start at 6:45. Last words, guys.
Oh man, great show. I mean, I know it was late tonight, but still, man, we had a great breakdown tonight and a great interview to end it, man. So great times and everything else. And Mr. 8245, we didn't have Wade Mason twice on this show. I think three
No,
times.
3 times.
We didn't have Wade Mason three
We had Wade
times.
Mason. Yeah,
I'm like this. Go back to the Legends one we
we
had.
had him when he got hired. We had him when he won the championship, and we had him for Legends Month because of the '95 All team.
Yep, go back. But
Pep-
it's a great show tonight, man. Great show.
Definitely.
Go ahead, Peppers.
Well, started with a little lightness, but it ended with heavy hitting. This was great. Absolutely. And this is why we do this. And when Coach Duron said, I don't know what I was getting into, but he thoroughly enjoyed it, it's the comfort level that we have with these guests, that every guest we get, it's what we do. And that's why, man, when we do it, I'm just so proud of what we have done. 200 plus, almost to 300 episodes. Man, we just getting our feet, we just getting stronger as we go. And no, we're not, Troy, but I do know 7 times 2 is 14. I saw that little crack you threw at me a little earlier, so I get that. So now I got to remember that 7 times 2 is 14. And I should have known. I shortchanged them people, but I have the utmost respect for that program, Evangel, and it was a great interview tonight. Don't know if you guys saw this, but the door for Tulane just opened up. North Texas's coach just left and took the Oklahoma State job. Coach Morris left tonight and took Okie State's job. Good luck to him, but it opens up for Tulane. He won't be there. So anyway, that's a little bit of breaking news. But it was a great show tonight. Looking forward to tomorrow night, obviously. Whenever time we come on, JB, I'm gonna check in with you, text you or whatnot, because I'll be at work and I'll do my overtime tomorrow, and I'll let you know. I'll get the kind of the 411 of when we're gonna go on. But all I gotta say is before the show tonight, I couldn't help but laugh. More the comedy. Oh man. 206 is another number I got to remember. 206. And that's an inside joke between the three of us. So, well, don't worry. I got a lick back waiting on Friday. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to use one word. If they try to feed, I'm going to say pause. And when it goes to VK, I'm going to hit that word pause. I might be sadistic enough to do that. But it is Thanksgiving, y'all. Listen. And for those of you that join us, thank you. We thank you so much. And to our sponsors, we thank you guys so much for believing in us and sponsoring us. And without you guys, we're not here at episode 270. We're not here without y'all. It's y'all dedication and loyalty to us and us answering the call to put a really good product out every week, every day, every week that we do it. And the games we do, we take pride in what we do. Is there a Friday or last game? We don't know. Depends on results, But we got this one, Calvary Baptist and Jules Sumner. Gonna break that down tomorrow night. Got the picks tomorrow night. I haven't even looked at him yet.
Jimmy Watson tomorrow night.
Yep.
Jimmy Watson tomorrow night.
We've had him on before. We've had him on
Had him
before.
on
I think.
twice. Yes.
Yeah, as a panelist, like when we did no area previews, we had him on.
That's correct.
So looking forward to that interview, and he's going to espouse a lot of knowledge about Shreveport, and it's going to be very good to learn more in depth of these programs up there. And the common denominator is that Shreveport teams don't play defense, but I'm sure he's going to debunk that in some fashion tomorrow night. So looking forward to tomorrow night. Looking forward to the Harville Invitational. We'll try to listen in. But just again, I'm at the mercy of the old. Where am I going to be? So, you guys, I couldn't do this without y'all too. Just the fact that y'all two, the mesh, the what's the word I'm looking for? The camaraderie that we have is unbeatable. And every time we pick on VK, we go, look, I don't want to share this story on air. I shouldn't, but I'll share it with you, VK, off air. I told Jared already, but I'm not going to share it on air. This is going to stay between the three of us. And if for our fans, if they want to find out, they'd have to come find me. It's a weird story, VK. I'm going to tell you this one off the air, though. Jared, take us home, brother.
All right. Tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, Hunger Invitational, 2:20. Tune in. Friday night, Joel Sumner versus Calvary Baptist. Y'all tune in. That starts at 6:45. Thank you to Coach Denny Duron. We're back tomorrow, and we're going to have Jimmy Watson joining us to talk about some of those Shreveport teams who are playing the New Orleans area teams in week number 3 of the playoffs. For VK Jones, for George Peppers, I am JB, the sports guy. We're back tomorrow. Y'all tune in. Tune with us all day. I mean, basketball and the show. Just stay with us. See y'all later, everybody.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985-266-0664, and don't forget to ask about their 1-week free special.
Bucks No Whiz was the place to go as a kid growing up to get snowballs. As an adult now, it is still the place to go. When you want some of the best snowballs and some of the best customer service, Bucks No Whiz is the place. Now, excuse me, let me get back to my half grape, half pink lemonade snowball. Bucks No Whiz, located at 1508 Barataria Boulevard in Marrero, Louisiana. Hey, parents and coaches, want your young athlete to go far on and off the field? Kumon of Gretna is the place for you. Whether it's reading plays or calculating scores, early literacy and math skills teach focus, discipline, and decision making. Give your student athlete the edge. Start early, start smart at Kumon of Gretna.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
If you ever need help with 401k services, fiduciary services, or executive benefits, then Jeremy Callaghan of CoSource Financial Group is the guy to see. You can reach him at 337-606-9860.
I'm Erica Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching The Hash It Out Show.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.